Welcome to Rack of the Week number 69.
Yeah, me. Me.
Oh, I think I just dated myself. Let's get into the rack. Welcome to this week's Rack of the Week. I've got a slight inside angle. You can tell the cue ball is just a little bit closer. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's a real parallel angle. Anyway, you see me cueing the cue ball low, but I'm not trying to draw the ball. Yeah, just a stun to the rail. We'll play that back in slow motion. You can see the cue ball hit the head ball full, the top ball of the rack full, and then deflect off from it, and then it curved a little bit into the side rail. So let's zoom in and take a look at what we've got. So I've already identified what I'm going to shoot at. There's two trouble balls, this and this. Neither one of them go. This 514 is lined up to the rail right there. So when you're deciding what to shoot, you deal with your trouble balls immediately. Now I don't necessarily have to shoot the 10 ball, but the 10 ball blocks any of these balls from going in that corner pocket. So I think it's a smart shot. You might want to get a different angle, like for say you might shoot a different shot and get an angle on the 8 ball to send the cue ball this way to open these up. But if you do that, you're shooting off your soldiers. You're reducing the chances that you're going to make it through the rack. You want to deal with your trouble balls as soon as possible. So I think it's a real natural shot to shoot the 10. It's way too close to the rail to draw the cue ball up into these. But I've got a real good angle to use a little bit of inside spin and go into these and open these up. But that's just the first step in this shot. You've got to ask yourself, where are these balls are going to go? Where is the cue ball going to go? You've got to think. You don't just get down and shoot. So there's a couple of different ways that you can run into these balls. Because if the cue ball comes across the face of the 11, it might double kiss it, it might not, and then it's going to hit the 12, and the cue ball will go this way. That's okay. You have a very slight risk of scratching up in this side pocket, but it's not bad depending on the speed that you hit it with. And you want your cue ball to come loose from these balls. You don't want to play some kind of little delicate shot where you think you're going to get a shot on the 11 ball somehow. You need to shoot it so that these balls separate and the cue ball comes loose. What else could happen? Well, you could hit this 11 ball full. That's probably the worst scenario. You'll probably double kiss. You might stick to the top of it. You might knock them both of these balls away, and then the cue ball sits here on the bottom rail and you have no shot. What else could happen is if you hit the 11 ball a little bit thinner, in that case the cue ball is going to hit this rail and come off. The 11 ball will probably stay there, but the 10 ball will go this way. I like that idea. Your cue ball is going to come loose, and that's what you want. The other way is with a whole lot of spin, you might hit the rail first and then the 11 ball. And then the cue ball will come up this way. You might get a shot on one of these balls. These balls will separate. So of those options, I like going into the 11 ball. I'd like to hit the 11. It's going to be hard to judge, but you're going to, because you're hitting this with some force. But you don't. I don't think you want to come across the face. I think you need to try and come into the edge of the 11 so the cue ball goes to the rail and off, and those balls separate. Let's see if that's what I accomplish. Yeah, pretty much. Cue ball went right into the 11 and then came off the rail and the 12 separated. So that's perfect. Now, what's on my mind right now? The other trouble balls. I don't care that I have an easy shot on the 8 or maybe the 9 ball or the 13. This is what's on my mind. You've got to think. Deal with your trouble balls immediately. And I consider right now cutting the 11 with right English and going into them. But I have too much angle. But I have too much angle to accomplish that right now in this shot. But that is what I want to shoot on my next shot. Now, watching this video, I think there's a better option, possibly. Obviously, I'm going to shoot the 8 ball right now because it's super easy. And the whole point of shooting the 8 is to get on the 11. That is the purpose of shooting the 11. Or shooting the 8. Deal with your trouble balls immediately, right away, no delay. You don't have enough balls on the table to mess around. Okay, but what I could do is shoot the 8 and come up here to shoot the 12 because you're going to have an easier time opening these balls with the cue ball laying on the rail here. I can shoot the 12 and put the cue ball there. Now I have an angle on the 11 to very easily shoot at the top of the cue ball and go into these balls. Same issue. I do not want the cue ball to hit the bottom of the 14. It can get trapped down here and I have no shot. It would be nice to come across the face of the 14 with a high ball, because then you know your cue ball's going this way. You might hit one of these balls, you might not. Remember, I've got 2 up table balls. My cue ball might come off of these balls and go up table, and that's perfect to get on those 2 balls that are up table. So I think that's a higher percentage shot, but it's close. I'm going to shoot the 8 ball and leave the cue ball kind of where the 8 is. I don't want the cue ball to move very far. And now I've got a similar shot as the 10 ball that opened the rack. Cue ball is going to go to the rail, right English, into these balls. And I'm trying to come across the face of these balls. Let's see what the result is. Yeah, notice how the cue ball curved? You've got to account for that. So the cue ball went up table. That's ideal. That's just perfect. Now I can deal with these shots. Now when you want to think about this, I'm looking at, well, I think I'm going to zoom out in a second and look at what I have down table. But what I'm thinking about here is I'm going to shoot the 7 first, obviously, and then the 1. But here's the pocket line for the 1. You don't want the cue ball over here. Now, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, you can shoot the 1, go 2 rails, put the cue ball almost anywhere you want, or you can use high right and bring the cue ball straight down table. It's not all that big of a deal, or is it? You need to think about this, because when you're playing straight pool, you're looking for 99 and 100% positional routes, not 95%. So here's the shot line to the pocket. If my cue ball stops here, now I have a 1 rail positional route. Whether I come to center table, whether I want to bring the cue ball this way for that ball that's over here, much easier positional route. And so you want to think about that before you shoot this 7. So this is a natural for me. I've already thought about that. So this is just a little soft pinch draw with a little left English. Super easy shot, and just hold the cue ball on this side of the shot line. Now let's take a look at what I have going down table. I've already looked at it, but here's what I'm seeing. There's no more tied up balls, but there are trouble balls. These balls all are a situation. They all block each other. The 4 ball goes past the 12, so that's not a problem. But the 5 ball blocks the 9 or the 3 from going into this pocket. These balls make it hard to get position on the 14. I have to bring my cue ball over here if I want position on the 14. The 9 ball rather blocks me from shooting the 13 in the side. If I want to shoot the 9 ball, it'd be nice to shoot the 9 in this corner, but the 13 blocks me from getting position. Those are all blocker balls. They all block each other. So what balls free things up is what you need to look at. And that's the 5 and the 9. Because the 13 in the side is not a problem. The 15 down here isn't really a problem. The 14 isn't a problem. The 5 and the 9 are the blocker balls. Those are the balls that I need to deal with. I need to get rid of those in order to free things up and have an end pattern. So I want to get rid of them as soon as possible. Always deal with your trouble as soon as possible, immediately. Because if I can get rid of the 5 and 9, now everything's open, and I can visualize an end pattern that gets me on this 13 in the side. So I've also identified that the 13 is a break ball. I'm sorry, the 3 ball is a break ball, and the 13 in the side is a great key ball. Well, if that's a key ball for the 3, where's my K2? Diagonally from the key ball. There's your K2 ball. Either the 4 or the 12 work great. Any kind of angle on those balls, and you can play position over here for the 13 in the side. So that's on my mind for the end of my end pattern, regardless of what balls come before those. So I want to leave one or both of these. So what blocker ball can I play position on? Now you might not believe this, but there's a window to this 5 between the 9 and the 13. But I need a safety outlet in case if I don't hit that window. Now position for that is easy. Look how easy that is. 1 rail right into that position zone. That would be a ton harder to get that zone get that position if my cue ball was on this side of the 1. Okay? But I love this because I'm playing position for that 5 ball, but if I don't get there, whoop, I got the 4 or the 12. So this is how you play straight pool. You always have your safety outlets, but you're dealing with your trouble balls, or at least attempting to. So that's my plan. So I've already looked at what angle I need to get on that 5 ball. And I'm fortunate that I get it. I'm on the 5 ball. But if I didn't get that tight window on the 5, I've got a safety outlet. Now I'm walking around behind the 5. Why would I do that? Because if I can play a stop shot on the 5, my cue ball's here. And I'm looking at what do I have next? Well, I have the 15 ball up here if I play a stop shot, or the 14 ball here. But neither of those are my trouble balls. This is the trouble ball. How am I going to deal with that? And so looking at the 5, I don't want to just play a stop shot. I'd like to shoot the 5 and draw the cue ball back just a little bit, because then I'll have options. I might get a good shot on the 9 in the side. If I don't, I will still have a shot on the 15 or the 14. So you're always thinking when you're playing straight pool. What will I have if I play it perfect? What shot will I have if I don't play it perfectly? So a little bit of draw on this is what I'm trying to do. Didn't get much draw, but it slid over to the side a little bit. Now, if I have a shot right now on the 9 in the side, I would absolutely shoot the 9 in the side, because you can just roll forward. You'll be on the 4 or the 12, and then you can develop an end pattern. I don't think I have a shot on the 9. I have an easy shot on the 14, but it's kind of a cut, and my cue ball is going to go here and here, and that's not helping my situation. I'm going to be running into the bottom of the 12 or the 4. That's just terrible. It's not what I want. So the only shot here is the 15 ball. And what I'm trying to do, I've got an angle on that 15, and it looks to me like I can just gently bump the 9. And you want to do it gently because I don't want the cue ball to travel far. No matter which side of the 9 ball I hit, I'm going to have a shot on either the 13 in the side, the 4 ball, or the 14. Options. You're always playing, thinking about what you're doing so that you'll have options no matter what happens. As it is, I hit the top side of that 9, which is probably the worst result. I wish I would have hit it fuller, but I have options. Because I've been thinking about my trouble balls and addressing them immediately, I've got options. So from here, I've got a shot on either the 4 or the 12. Either one will be fine, but how am I going to deal with this 9? That 9 is still a trouble ball. The 3 ball is in the way of getting position into this side pocket. The 13 is in the way of getting position down here, although not as badly anymore since I moved the 9 a little bit. But the 9 ball is the problem. I can't really develop a definitive end pattern because I can't get on that 9, can't get an easy shot on that 9 ball. So the plan I come up with, I have a super easy shot on the 12, which gives me an angle on the 14 to go to the rail and come up and bump that 9. And I like it. I think it's a little bit risky because I could hit the 3. But if I hit the 3, then I've got a shot on the 9, and I still have the 4 ball as a break shot. So it's for that reason that I like this pattern. I think there could be a better one. If you see a better one, let me know. You know, maybe what the shot here is to shoot the 4, go to the bottom rail and come up, because then I'll have a shot on the 9 up in this corner, and if I don't get perfect, I'll have a shot on the 14. Maybe that's a better plan. I don't know. Or if you see something different, let me know in the comment section. Anyway, notice what I'm doing. Both of my break shots, my possible break shots, are preserved. Why? Because I'm thinking as I'm shooting. Now I'm trying to bump the 9, and I hit this pretty darn good. That's just, you can't ask for much better. Now, if I didn't end up with a shot on the 4, for example, sometimes you might hit that shot, bump the 9, but the 9 is in the way of shooting the 4. Well, then I've got to shoot the 3, but it's okay, because now I've got the 9 as a key ball for the 4 ball break shot, and I can shoot the 3 and use the 13 to get on the 9. So it's in this way that you preserve your options. So now I'm thinking about my options here. I've got a little bit of an angle on the 4, and I want to go to the rail and come out. And I know that if I don't get a good shot on the 9 ball, either than the side or the corner, I'll have a shot on the 13. Look, I'm walking over there to look. Where do I want to get? So here's the parallel line to the parallel line to the 9. I need to get the cue ball past that. If the cue ball comes past that line, then I'll have options. And that dictates how hard to hit that shot. So from here, where am I? It looks like I've got a pretty easy shot for the 9 in the corner and just draw back for my 13 in the side. Easy peasy. Yeah, I hit that pretty soft, and I didn't do a lot of draw. I was a little more stun than draw. But this is very, very reasonable, very acceptable. I like this shot. A ton of right English on this shot. Slows the cue ball down, so I have more control over the speed. And then that cue ball, look at the reverse angle the cue ball took. Here's the shot line to the pocket on the 3. So using that right English, the cue ball's going this direction. It's going to be really hard to cross that line and end up with the wrong angle on the break ball. So I actually like that key ball. I like that angle on the key ball a whole lot. Now you can tell I'm very close to parallel, maybe just a little bit inside. And again, it looks to me like my cue ball is going to hit this 11 really full. So the break shot is almost identical to the opening break shot of this rack. I'm shooting below center, but I'm not shooting with draw. I'm hoping the cue ball is going to hit the 11 full and come right back to the side rail. Let's see. It's really pretty when that happens. You notice the cue ball did have a little draw on it. It curved to the side rail, but that kept it under control. There's often several different patterns that are going to get you through any rack of straight pool, but all of them involve thinking. And thinking is a skill that you can practice. So make sure you think your way through your racks. Thanks for watching.